Dragon Ball DAIMA. That's right, you know it, I know it, we all know it. Dragon Ball magic is real, and it's called DAIMA. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're new here, I cover Dragon Ball news, and today I'm going to drop all the known info we have on DAIMA, while also breaking down the trailer, speculating on the events of the series, and giving my own opinion about how the community is reacting. So let's just jump straight into it. First, I'm going to break down the trailer, comparing it to the leaks we now know are true, and getting to the bottom of things. First, we see this hellish landscape, and I'm thinking it's probably the introduction of Toriyama's version of the demon realm. I mainly think this because we see the two villains shown here. We know from the leaks that they are demonic beings in some way, and given their capes looking exactly like Deborah's, we can probably assume a connection there. We also see them looking at data collected from the Boo arc, specifically Babidi and Deborah, along with Boo. So I think in a similar way to how Superhero was about the Red Ribbon Army getting revenge, I'm kind of thinking this is going to be about the demons getting revenge for Deborah, the king of the demon realm. For this next point, I want to credit Sverog Jaws on Twitter for pointing it out. We see the Dragon Balls being used, presumably by the mysterious demons, and at another point in the trailer, we see a Namekian looking at some orb turning into a Dragon Ball. In Toriyama's statement, he says we learned the answers to some of the big mysteries of Dragon Ball, so it's possible that we're seeing Zalama himself creating the very first original Dragon Balls. Nothing is confirmed yet, but it's still fun to think about. Also, I just want to say, I like all the designs of the younger characters. Especially Roshi, who obviously looks nothing like the old man we know, and instead looks very similar to Krillin. I just thought that was a cute parallel. We also don't see Gohan amongst the de-aged characters, but we do see Goten and Trunks as babies, so it's kind of funny we spent years begging for them to be aged up. They finally become teens in Superhero, and now they're babies. So, let's get into it. The leak said Goku and Supreme Kai would turn into kids, but it appears that all of the Z-Fighters got de-aged. I personally think this is so the Demon Realm characters can weaken them and make it easier to get revenge for the Deborah, but that's just a theory. I've seen a lot of people pushing back on this plot point, but I'm open to it. Toriyama is confirmed to be writing episodes and is more involved with this series than he's been since Battle of Gods, so I'm excited to see what the creator has in store. Other than that, the trailer doesn't give us too many other plot details, but the animation is absolutely gorgeous, and I'm really excited to have a Dragon Ball series look this stunning, especially after how the DBS anime was handled. The release is set for fall 2024, and it's mainly a product of Toriyama, which is always good to know. In fact, according to his note, he's more involved now than ever before. I'll read it now in full. Okay, he says here, "Hello, I'm Akira Toriyama. I'm currently working on a new Dragon Ball. The title is Dragon Ball DAIMA. DAIMA is a made-up term, which in Japanese characters would be that thing, or in English would be something like evil. Due to a conspiracy, Goku and his friends are turned small. In order to fix things, they'll head off to a new world. It's a grand adventure with intense action in an unknown and mysterious world. Since Goku has to make up for his petite size, he uses his power pole to fight, something not seen in a long time." And real quick, a really cool detail in the trailer, when you can see Goku visiting Korin Tower, and the power pole, which was once there, is no longer there, so Korin's Tower is just floating. So obviously, since Goku needs the power pole now, it's not there. That's a really cool thing to witness. He says, "I came up with the story and settings, as well as a lot of the designs. I'm actually putting a lot more effort into this than usual. Things will unfold that close in on the mysteries of the Dragon Ball world. Hope you all enjoy these different from usual battles that are cute and powerful." And that is from Akira Toriyama himself, so that's always interesting to get his own words. We also learned that Monica Rial and Ian Sinclair were kept in the dark about Dragon Ball DAIMA, but even Masako Nozawa was kept in the dark, so it's interesting just how secretive this anime was. A lot of information from Ioku was held back, with the only tease being that Goku was turned into a kid. When we got the panel announcement, I questioned whether Whis would be in this show since Ian was on the panel, but that was addressed when Ian asked Ioku. He couldn't say no to Whis being in DAIMA when asked by Sinclair, but said that Bulma would definitely be in the series, so it seems like Whis probably won't be in it. And on to the next topic. Is it canon? They never said it was or wasn't canon, and they never really do. Toriyama is even more involved with this than Super, so if you consider Super canon, then DAIMA is definitely canon. I think this is more along the lines of, is it like DBS Heroes? Like, well, Dragon Ball, Super Dragon Ball Heroes. Is this more like Super Dragon Ball Heroes? The answer is no, it's not like Super Dragon Ball Heroes. That is a promotional anime for a card game. This is like more like Super, probably even more like the original Dragon Ball, because according to them, Toriyama is more involved than ever. Another question is, when does this take place on the timeline? I'm so confused. We don't know when it's set because this is a teaser. As we learn more about the series, we'll get a better idea of the timeline. You being confused is intentional and meant to intrigue you. There's a ton of behind the scenes info out there that you can look up on Anime AJ's Twitter. I'll be reading a few tweets verbatim, but for more info, make sure to check them out yourself. So the episode count is unknown, and not even animators know the length. The series does not feature flip-flopping multiple art styles. The shift from Classic Z to modern Toriyama occurs when they are de-aged in episode 1. Also, episode length is a standard 24 minutes. The series is very much in the vein of JRPGs Toriyama has been involved in, such as Dragon Quest and Blue Dragon. Production began at the tail end of 2021, with Toei creating a pilot in early 2022 for Toriyama and Shueisha to approve. Full staff were recruited in April of 2022, with animation starting properly in October that same year when Dragon Quest Dai ended. And finally, this last bit here sheds some light on the name change. The last minute name change, they noted, also was no joke. Dragon Ball Magic was on Sete, updated recently as last week. It has always had provisional written on it though. Other than this anime being announced, the second most intriguing thing about all this to me is that Super Anime is seemingly on hiatus and will continue to be so according to Anime AJ. On the upside, the manga is probably still going to continue after the superhero recap, so maybe one day we'll see Moro and Granola animated. Either way, this announcement was huge and the hype is real. Everyone and their mother feels a certain way about the series. I'm seeing a lot of pushback from people immediately dismissing this as non-canon or a bit too weird, but I'm also seeing a lot of praise from people excited to see Toriyama more involved and have more Dragon Ball on our screens. Personally, I'm pretty excited, and when this was announced while I was at work, I absolutely flipped out. As a self-admitted Dragon Ball fanboy, it's hard for me to be pessimistic about the series, but for a while there it seemed like we were never getting another anime. Now though, we got Budokai Tenkaichi 4 on the horizon, Moore's Universe 2 DLC is releasing, the DBS manga is still releasing monthly, and the Dragon Ball anime is premiering in 2024. Oh, and we also have the Breakers. Oh, and the Kakarot DLC, we're still getting DLC for Kakarot, so for now, I'm happy. If you made it this far into the video, I just want to say thank you. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for the latest and greatest Dragon Ball news, and I will see you in the next one. Peace off.